We have been studying together the teachings contained in the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And as I've said to you in the last couple of weeks, I'm fully aware that not every one of us in this room has an addiction to any sort of chemical substance or addicted to anything, and yet there is a universality in these 12 steps and an applicability in these 12 steps that each and every one of us can benefit from. I so appreciate the member of our church who, after the very first week in this series, said to me, "You know, Wendy, I look at the 12 steps in a very, very simple way. They're really about three things. They are about trusting God, cleaning house, and helping others." And I was so taken by the simplicity of his answer that it's really stuck with me. Wow, trusting God, cleaning house, and helping others. So very quickly, I want to touch upon three of the steps, 8, 9, and 10. Those steps say this. Number 1, or I should say number 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Let me repeat it. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. We'll get into it in a minute. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. And step 10, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Each of these 3 steps is still about cleaning house. This step 8, of being willing to make a list of all the people that we have harmed, is a step of responsibility. It is a step in which we say, I will at least give thought to my participation in relationships that have gone awry. I am willing to look at myself. I am willing to identify those individuals in my life that I'm out of sorts with. I'm willing to make that list. Remember that line in one of the Star Wars movies? I get them all confused now with so many of the sequels and the prequels. I can't keep track of them anymore. But I love the line that I think it was Yoda who talked about there being a disturbance in the force, right? When we have a relationship that's kind of off kilter, we know it, don't we? We can feel there's a disturbance in the force. Step 8 and step 9 are about paying attention to that, making a list there. Who are the people that I know that I've harmed maybe in some way, not even maybe intentionally, but sometimes unintentionally. Maybe I've slighted them or offended them, or maybe I've done worse. It might trigger the feelings of a bit of guilt though, right? Like, oh, I don't even want to look at that. I don't even want to admit that I did that thing. And so we push it down. There is such a thing as healthy guilt. Healthy guilt is a natural feeling we feel when we know that we have done something wrong and we haven't yet done anything to correct it. Shame is something that's not healthy. Shame is guilt gone to the extreme, where not only do we realize that what we did was wrong, we begin to think that somehow we are inherently flawed and wrong. And remember, in unity, we say we are born in original blessing, not in original sin. We can do some pretty terrible things, but at the very core, the very essence of who and what we are still God in expression. Okay, and that's really, really important to understand.